First contact. The starship Horizon glided silently through the vast expanse of space, its sleek hull reflecting the distant starlight. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the viewscreen before her. The massive space station loomed ahead, a testament to the technological prowess of the Galactic Alliance. "We're approaching Nexus Station, Captain," Lieutenant Rodriguez announced from his position at the helm. "They're hailing us." Sarah took a deep breath, straightening her uniform. This was it, humanity's first official contact with the Galactic Alliance. After centuries of wondering if we were alone in the universe, Earth had finally received an invitation to present its case for joining the interstellar community. On screen, Sarah commanded, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing a being that looked like a cross between an octopus and a tree. Its bark-like skin was adorned with bioluminescent patterns, and multiple tentacles waved gracefully around its bulbous head. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious burble. "I am Ambassador Zix Lorne of the Galactic Alliance. Welcome to Nexus Station." Sarah inclined her head respectfully. "Thank you, Ambassador. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth ship Horizon. We're honored to be here." Zix Lorne's tentacles rippled in what Sarah hoped was a gesture of acknowledgement. "You may dock at Bay 17. The Council awaits your petition." As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. "Well, people, this is what we've trained for. Let's show them what humanity has to offer." The Horizon maneuvered into the designated docking bay, its thrusters pulsing gently. As they touched down, Sarah couldn't help but notice the stark contrast between their ship and the others in the bay. The Horizon, while the pride of Earth's fleet, looked positively primitive next to the sleek, almost organic designs of the alien vessels. As Sarah led her small delegation down the gangway, she heard snickers and whispers from the alien observers gathered in the bay. She caught snippets of translated conversation from her earpiece. "Look at that archaic heap of metal. How did they even make it this far? Primitives, they'll never be accepted." Sarah gritted her teeth, but kept her face impassive. They'd faced skepticism before. Humanity had clawed its way back from the brink of extinction after the Great Calamity, rebuilding their civilization from the ashes. They'd overcome every obstacle thrown their way. This was just one more challenge to conquer. An alien that resembled a giant praying mantis approached them, its iridescent exoskeleton gleaming under the station's lights. "I am Krizak, your guide. Follow me to the council chambers." As they walked through the station's winding corridors, Sarah marveled at the advanced technology on display. Holographic interfaces flickered in and out of existence, and gravity seemed to shift subtly as they moved between sections. It was simultaneously awe-inspiring and humbling. They arrived at a massive set of doors, intricate patterns swirling across their surface. Krizak gestured with one of its scythe-like appendages. "The council awaits. May your words be true and your intentions pure." The doors swung open silently, revealing a vast circular chamber. Tiered seating rose up around them, filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied description. At the center was a raised dais where 7 beings sat, their features obscured by shimmering energy fields. "Approach, humans of Earth," a voice boomed, seeming to come from everywhere at once. "Present your case for joining the Galactic Alliance." Sarah stepped forward, her heart pounding. This was the moment that would define humanity's future among the stars. She began to speak, her voice growing stronger with each word. "Esteemed members of the Council, I stand before you today representing not just a planet, but an idea. Humanity has faced near extinction, wars that scarred our world, and divisions that threatened to tear us apart. Yet here we stand, united and reaching for the stars." She gestured to her crew. "We may seem primitive to you, our technology quaint by your standards. But what we lack in advancement, we make up for in determination, creativity, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge." A murmur rippled through the chamber. Sarah pressed on, her passion evident in every word. We've overcome our violent past, terraformed our ravaged world, and achieved feats of science and engineering that were once thought impossible. We don't ask to join the Alliance as conquerors or supplicants, but as equals. As beings who can contribute to the greater good of all. As Sarah concluded her speech, silence fell over the chamber. Then, one of the council members leaned forward, the energy field around them flickering. A stirring speech, Captain Chen, the being said, its voice like grinding stone. But words are wind. Show us something tangible that proves humanity's worth. Sarah nodded, having anticipated this. She pulled out a small device from her pocket. This, council members, is a neural interface of our own design. It allows for direct mind-to-machine communication, bridging the gap between organic and artificial intelligence. She activated the device, and a holographic display sprang to life above it, showing complex schematics and data streams. We believe this technology could revolutionize space travel, medical procedures, and interspecies communication. The council members conferred among themselves, their voices a low hum. Finally, the central figure spoke. Your technology is intriguing, Captain, but it is but a drop in the ocean of knowledge the Alliance possesses. We've seen countless species rise and fall, each believing they were special. The figure's tone grew dismissive. Your ship is obsolete by our standards. Your understanding of the universe is limited. What makes you think humanity is ready to join our ranks? Sarah felt a flicker of anger, but she suppressed it. With respect, Council, it's precisely because we have room to grow that we should be accepted. We offer a fresh perspective, untainted by millennia of set ways. Our primitive approach might just be the key to solving problems that have stumped the Alliance for ages. Another council member, this one with a voice like chiming bells, spoke up. Bold words, human. But the galaxy is a dangerous place. How would your species contribute to the defense of the Alliance? Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. The chamber's view screens flickered to life, showing a terrifying sight. A massive fleet of unknown ships had appeared out of nowhere, their designs angular and menacing. We're under attack, someone shouted. Unknown hostiles, unprecedented numbers. As chaos erupted in the council chamber, Sarah locked eyes with her crew. They nodded, a silent understanding passing between them. Whatever was happening, this was humanity's chance to prove its worth. Council members, Sarah called out, her voice cutting through the panic. Allow us to assist in the defense of the station. We may surprise you. The central council figure hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Very well, human. Show us what you can do. As Sarah and her crew raced back to the horizon, adrenaline pumping through their veins, they knew that the fate of Earth's future in the galaxy now rested on their shoulders. The real test was about to begin, the unexpected threat. As Captain Sarah Chen and her crew sprinted back to the horizon, the space around Nexus Station erupted into chaos. The unknown hostile fleet had begun its assault, their ships unleashing a barrage of energy weapons that slammed against the station's shields. Status report. Sarah barked as she burst onto the bridge, her crew quickly taking their positions. Lieutenant Rodriguez's fingers flew over his console. Shields at maximum, weapons online. The station's defenses are holding for now, but they're taking a beating. Sarah nodded, her mind racing. Tactical analysis of the enemy's ships. They're like nothing we've ever seen, Captain, Science Officer Dr. Amelia Frost reported, her eyes glued to her screens. Their hulls seem to absorb energy weapons, and their propulsion systems are off the charts. The Alliance ships are struggling to make a dent. Sarah gritted her teeth. This was bad, but it was also an opportunity. All right, people, this is our chance to show what humanity can do. Rodriguez, take us out. Frost, I want you analyzing every scrap of data we can get on those ships. Find me a weakness. As the horizon detached from its docking clamps, Sarah opened a channel to the Alliance fleet. This is Captain Chen of the Earth-ship Horizon. We're moving to assist. There was a moment of silence before a response came through, tinged with both surprise and skepticism. Understood at Horizon. Try not to get in the way. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. They'd change their tunes soon enough. The Horizon zipped through the chaotic battlefield, its smaller size allowing it to weave between the larger Alliance ships. Sarah watched as the advanced alien vessels unleashed salvos of energy weapons and exotic particles, only to see them absorbed or deflected by the invaders' strange hulls. "Captain," Frost called out, excitement in her voice. "I think I found something. The enemy ship's energy absorption isn't perfect. There's a split-second vulnerability when they fire their main weapons." Sarah leaned forward. "Can we exploit it?" Frost nodded. "Maybe. If we could hit them with a concentrated electromagnetic pulse at exactly the right moment, we might be able to overload their systems. But our EMP generators aren't nearly powerful enough," Chief Engineer Takashi Tanaka interjected from his station. Sarah's mind raced. What if we repurposed our warp core, use it to generate a massive EMP burst? Tanaka's eyes widened. It's possible, but incredibly risky. We'd be flying without our main power source. "Do it," Sarah ordered. "Rodriguez, get us close to the largest enemy ship. Tanaka, I want that EMP ready to fire on my mark." As the Horizon darted towards the massive alien vessel, Sarah opened a channel to the Alliance fleet. "All ships, this is Horizon. We're attempting to disable the enemy flagship. Be ready to concentrate your fire when their defenses drop." The Alliance commander's voice came through, skepticism replaced by desperate hope. "Understood, Horizon. We'll follow your lead." The enemy flagship loomed before them, dwarfing the Horizon. Its surface rippled with strange energies, and massive weapon ports glowed with building power. "They're preparing to fire," Rodriguez shouted. Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Steady, steady, now. Fire the EMP." The Horizon shuddered as its improvised weapon discharged. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, just as the enemy flagship fired, a wave of electromagnetic energy washed over it. The massive ship's weapons sputtered and died, and its hull flickered like a faulty hologram. "It worked," Frost exclaimed. "Their systems are in chaos." Sarah didn't waste a second. "All Alliance ships, fire everything you've got." The combined firepower of the Alliance fleet converged on the vulnerable flagship. Without its energy-absorbing defenses, the massive ship stood no chance. It broke apart under the onslaught, secondary explosions rippling along its length. A cheer went up on the Horizon's bridge, but Sarah knew the battle was far from over. The remaining enemy ships were regrouping, adjusting their tactics. "Captain," Rodriguez called out, "we're being hailed by the Alliance command ship." The face of an alien commander appeared on screen, its features a mix of tentacles and crystalline structures. "Horizon, your tactic was unexpected and effective. We underestimated you. How can we cooperate to press this advantage?" Sarah felt a surge of pride, but pushed it aside. There would be time for celebration later. "We need to coordinate our attacks. If we time our strikes with your energy weapons, we can take down their defenses ship by ship." The alien commander nodded. "Agreed. We'll follow your lead, Horizon." As the battle raged on, the tide began to turn. The Horizon darted between larger Alliance ships, using its improvised EMP weapon to create openings in the enemy defenses. Alliance vessels capitalized on these moments of vulnerability, their combined firepower tearing through the invaders' ranks. But the unknown hostiles were far from beaten. They adapted quickly, changing formation to protect their vulnerable ships. Some began to focus their fire on the Horizon, recognizing the threat it posed. Evasive maneuvers. Sarah ordered as energy beams lanced past them, scorching the Horizon's hull. "Tanaka, how many more EMP bursts can we manage?" "2, maybe 3 if we're lucky," Tanaka replied, his voice strained. "We're pushing the warp core to its limits, Captain." Sarah nodded grimly. They needed to end this soon, or they'd be dead in the water. She opened a channel to the Alliance command ship. "We need to take out their command and control. Any ideas on which ship might be coordinating their efforts?" The alien commander's response was immediate. "We've detected unusual energy signatures from a ship near the rear of their formation. It could be their command vessel." "Then that's our target," Sarah declared. "All ships, focus your efforts on clearing a path. Horizon will deliver the killing blow." The Alliance fleet moved with newfound coordination, their earlier disdain for the human ship forgotten in the heat of battle. They formed a spearhead formation, battering aside enemy vessels as the Horizon raced through the gap they created. As they approached the suspected command ship, Sarah felt time slow down. This was the moment that would decide not just the battle, but humanity's place in the galaxy. "All power to engines and shields," she ordered. "We've got one shot at this." The Horizon accelerated, pushing past its designed limits. Enemy fire raked across their shields, alarms blaring as systems overloaded. "EMP charged and ready," Tanaka reported, his voice tight with tension. "Wait for it," Sarah murmured, her eyes fixed on the rapidly approaching enemy vessel. "Wait for it, now." The Horizon unleashed its final EMP burst just as the enemy command ship fired its main weapons. The electromagnetic wave collided with the energy beam, creating a spectacular light show in the void of space. For a moment, it seemed like the gambit had failed. Then, like a house of cards collapsing, the enemy command ship's defenses fell. Its hull rippled and distorted, sections of it seeming to phase in and out of existence. "All Alliance ships, fire at will," Sarah shouted. A storm of energy weapons converged on the vulnerable command ship. It stood no chance, breaking apart under the concentrated assault. As it exploded in a brilliant flash, the remaining enemy vessels suddenly seemed to lose cohesion. Some simply winked out of existence, while others drifted aimlessly, their systems apparently shut down. A stunned silence fell over the Horizon's bridge, broken only by the beeping of various systems pushed to their limits. Then, slowly, a cheer began to build. It started with Rodriguez pumping his fist in the air, then spread until the entire crew was celebrating their unlikely victory. Sarah allowed herself a moment to bask in their success before turning her attention to the aftermath. Damage report. Tanaka's voice was a mix of exhaustion and pride. "We're running on auxiliary power, shields are down, and we've got hull breaches on decks 3 and 4. But we're alive, Captain. We did it." Sarah nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "That we did, Chief, that we did." The main view screen flickered to life, showing the face of the alien council member who had dismissed them earlier. Its expression was unreadable, but its voice held a note of respect that hadn't been there before. "Captain Chen," it said, "it seems we may have been hasty in our judgment of humanity's potential. Your actions today have saved countless lives and demonstrated a level of ingenuity we did not expect. The Council requests your presence for a reevaluation of Earth's petition." As Sarah acknowledged the request, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Humanity had been given a chance to prove itself, and they had risen to the challenge. Whatever came next, they had earned their place among the stars. But as the adrenaline of battle faded, new questions arose. Who were these mysterious attackers? Why had they targeted the Alliance? And what would this mean for Earth's future in a suddenly much more dangerous galaxy? As the Horizon limped back to Nexus Station, Sarah knew that their adventure was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. The Council's verdict. As Reyes spoke of humanity's achievements, an insectoid counselor interrupted, dismissing human ideals as outdated and primitive. The gelatinous blob counselor, representing the hive mind of DX, questioned humanity's unity and peace, claiming that conflict still thrived on Earth. A hollow projection flared to life, displaying footage of soldiers executing civilians. The emblem of the Shanghai Pact, a separatist movement, was clearly visible. The Council's taunts were reinforced by this damning evidence, showing humanity's failure to maintain unity and peace. Reyes's face drained of color as he realized the footage depicted recent events. The Council's rejection was based on this evidence of internal conflict, and the gelatinous councillor announced that humanity's petition was denied. The Council granted Earth 1 century to rectify its issues before another application could be considered. The councillors teleported away, leaving Reyes alone in the chamber. His fists clenched at his sides, his mind racing with anger and humiliation. He knew he couldn't return to Earth empty-handed. The rejection was a crushing blow, but he vowed to find a way to turn the situation around. Crisis on Galactic Hub Alpha. As Reyes exited the chamber, the station was suddenly engulfed in chaos. An alarm blared, and a computerized voice announced an attack by unknown vessels. Reyes's heart raced as he realized the severity of the situation. His rail pistol, confiscated earlier, was no longer at his side. Desperation drove Reyes to a terminal, but the system was locked down. With no way to contact the Defiance, he grabbed an emergency survival pod and squeezed into the cramped space. The pod launched from the station, and Reyes watched as the Defiance detached from the docking arm, maneuvering gracefully despite the chaos. Through the pod's viewport, Reyes saw the attackers' ships, angular, black vessels bristling with weaponry, pummeling the station and its defenses. The Defiance was strangely untouched, and Reyes wondered why. His immediate concern was to get back to the ship and ensure his crew's safety. The battle for survival. Reyes navigated through the chaotic station, dodging panicked aliens and navigating a surreal obstacle course. A series of violent impacts shook the station, making it difficult to maintain balance. Reyes struggled to reach the airlock, where he discovered that the locks had been sealed at the station's defensive A. In a moment of inspiration, Reyes spotted an emergency survival pod and launched himself into it. The pod's acceleration pressed him back into the padding as it jettisoned from the station. Reyes peered through the pod's tiny viewport, watching the Defiance skillfully maneuver in the midst of the attack. The survival pod provided a brief respite, but Reyes knew he had to act quickly. He needed to rejoin his crew and take control of the situation before it was too late. The unexpected ally. As the survival pod approached the Defiance, Reyes noticed a group of alien fighters converging on the ship. Desperate to help, he activated the pod's communications and managed to contact the Defiance. His crew was holding their ground, but the ship's defenses were strained. Reyes' arrival was a relief to the crew, who quickly briefed him on the situation. The Defiance's commander, Lieutenant Talia, had been fending off the attackers and keeping the ship operational despite the odds. Reyes joined the battle, using his knowledge of the ship's systems to bolster their defenses. The fight was fierce, but Reyes and his crew managed to repel the attackers. As the Defiance sustained damage, Reyes' leadership and strategic decisions played a crucial role in turning the tide of the battle. The station was still under siege, but the Defiance's survival was a victory in itself. Redemption and resolve. The battle subsided, and the attackers retreated. The Defiance was battered but intact, and Reyes' crew was safe. As they assessed the damage, Reyes reflected on the day's events: the humiliation at the Council chamber, the attack on Galactic Hub Alpha, and the near loss of their ship. Despite the setbacks, Reyes was determined to continue fighting for humanity's place in the galaxy. The defeat at the Council was not the end but a new beginning. He vowed to address the issues highlighted by the Council and to return stronger in the future. With the Defiance back in operation, Reyes prepared to lead his crew back to Earth, knowing that their journey was far from over. The fight for humanity's place in the galactic community was just beginning, and Reyes was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The story of Captain Michael Reyes and the ISS Defiance would continue, with renewed resolve and a burning determination to secure humanity's future among the stars.